Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Patch's Rants. This one is really going to be a rant and it's more going to be an educational episode about the Mano Cornuto. Now first of all, before I start this video, I need to make clear that everything I'm going to say in this video is just what I've learned. So there might be some errors. Please, if I make some errors, correct me in the comments below, because I'm just trying to spread knowledge, and if I fuck up on this one, yeah, you get the picture. Also, with this video, I'm not trying to be a smartass. I'm not trying to get angry at people for using the wrong word or using the wrong term or using it in a wrong way, because frankly, I really don't give a shit. I just want to explain what I know. Now, originally, the Mano Cornuto was introduced to the metal world by Ronnie James Dio. As I've already said in a previous video, Ronnie James Dio is kind of my metal god. His voice is just mind-blowingly amazing. Everything he's worked with, everything he's done has just become a legend. He's worked with the greatest artists in the entire metal world, and basically he was just like an embodiment of metal as a whole. He was just the guy with the gigantic broadsword, the guy with the long hair, the guy who would stand up on stage and do this and everyone would go completely nuts. He could just say one word and the entire venue or wherever he was playing would immediately know what he was gonna do, what he was gonna say, what the song was gonna be about. And he had some sort of way to make you feel the things that he talked about in the music. Like thrash metal, for example, it's often about death, about nuclear stuff, about disfigurements, weird shit, and you know, you get some sort of thrashing, powerful feeling from it. But Ronnie James Dio had a completely different way of just saying slight things, of making slight touches with his voice, which would make you completely feel all the pain he was trying to get across. So I'm pretty sure everyone has seen Heavy Metal: A Headbanger's Journey. If you haven't, you really need to check it out, because it's probably the most complete, awesome documentary on metal ever made. And in this film, in this documentary, he tells the interviewer that he introduced the Maloik, or the Mano Cornuto, to the metal world because his grandmother always did it. Yes, his grandparents from both father and mother's side, I believe, are Italian, and they came to America, and he would go to the market with her, and at some point his grandmother would go to someone and he asked her, what is it? And it is the Maloik, and it's to fend off the evil eye. And that's what it says in the interview. However, after seeing this interview, I've kind of dived into the entire world of the Maloik, or the Mano Cornuto, or however you want to call it. And it's a pretty big story, and it's actually pretty cool. So I'm just gonna share whatever additional information I found on it. So I found a website where it tells a little bit about the Maloik. And the Maloik supposedly is a curse that you put on someone by being envious of them or being jealous. So, for instance, you walk on the street and you're wearing a brand new coat, and it looks really awesome, and whatever, it's a new leather jacket with a patch jacket on it or whatever, and someone sees you and you see some kind of envious stare, like, oh, I want to have that or whatever, and that would put a Maloik on you. So by going like this at them, you would fend off this curse. Now, however, some people take it up to a completely different degree of superstition, where if someone compliments you on something, it would already show some sign of envy or jealousy, so you would already have to fend something off. I read a story about people who had a baby, and someone came up to them and they complimented them on their baby, like that's a very lovely baby, and immediately those parents were afraid that that person had just put a curse on the baby, so they would actually go like, oh, bless her, you know, just to fend off the curse. Now, another thing is that people calling this the devil horns or the horns or whatever, strangely, they are right. because the mano cornuto literally means horned hand. And another way to ward off these curses, the Maloik, is to wear a horn around your neck, and the horn would be called the cornuto, or the mano cornuto. Now, also, if you're getting a little confused about what is a Maloik, is it a curse, or is this the Maloik, or whatever, I'm just as confused, but what I figured from everything is that with this you can also put the curse on someone. So this would just be the general term for Maloik. It would be the curse, it would be what fends it off, it would be giving someone the curse, etc, etc. And you know, that's kind of the problem with old languages, that some words mean the same thing, or some words mean two things, or two words mean one thing, or and that's why some things just like this are a little wrapped in mystery, because it's, even if you find a billion websites, a billion books about it, the person who invented it in the first place, you never really know what the real truth is. But, well, the deeper you dive into these things, the weirder it gets, and at some point you almost start feeling weird for actually using this thing all the time when you didn't know all the meaning behind it. And I've kind of stopped my research just because it became so, well, there was so much information and there were so many different stories that at some point you just gotta conclude. And my conclusion is Ronnie James Dio introduced it to metal because it was, well, it fitted the vibe of Black Sabbath, and it was something magical, but it was also evil, and it was just this kind of mixture of both good and bad. It is meant to ward off evil, but also put evil on people. It is meant to protect you from any kind of curse put on you by envy or jealousy of someone, even if they don't intend any harm. Whether you call it the Maloik, the Mano Cornuto, or the Devil Horns, you're all right. There is not really a wrong name for it. Even the Metal Hand would actually quite fit it, because over the years and as time developed, it has kind of become the symbol of metal. And last but not least, it's a fucking awesome sign. Now, I hope this video was enough information. It was kind of in dedication to Ronnie James Dio himself, because 3 years ago on this day, May 16th, he passed away. And to me, Ronnie James Dio will always stay some kind of godfather to all of metal. Now, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you maybe learned something from it. Now, my advice for the rest of the day would listen to a whole shit ton of Dio, Black Sabbath, Rainbow, Elf, Heaven and Hell, and anything you can find with Ronnie James Dio in it. Actually, that's my advice for pretty much your entire life. Anyway, I will see you all next time again.